Okay. I'm listening to these people, and the way they try to make themselves sound. Now, these people know at this point that the way I see them is the way people should see them, right? I see these people who are trying to make me subscribe to these pedophile things as people who not only do this psychological tormenting tactics but also torture children, right? They're in a program that does horrible things to kids. I've made it clear that I know that. They know that I know that. I know how nasty they are. I know how furious they are. And I understand that in their mind they've tried to cope it by saying that they are war, that they're, try to come up with all different ways to trick themselves. Obviously, they're not at war. I'm sitting in my living room, they're going to do their thing, and it's not war. It's just technology that is so sophisticated that can rewire the brain in so many ways. And these people are just implementing that, meaning that they are just the trash that's involved in this program that override thoughts. They made me look at this kid, right? This baby. It's like a toddler. And they were giving me some nasty stimulations, right? Immediately, and they're like, "Oh, little girl, a little." Actually, I don't know what it is. This little kid, and so this compared to some nasty pedophile things. And they say that at that age, that's how we see things. Now, obviously, I know it's not true, but I know what I did as a kid, and they try to exaggerate that because around that age, I did something stupid as a child can do, and never think twice about it. And now today, as an adult person, they are forcing me to experience some stimulations. Then they say, no, that's how you would see things if you were around that age. Now, these lowlifes who are renowned to be doing this pedophile type of torture, not only do this pedophile type of torture, but are in a program that have done horrible things to babies, to kids much younger, to even much younger than this baby that you see there. And they try to block it out, right? Because reality is they try to escape. I know what they're involved in. I know what they're part of. I know what they do to children. I know what they do to women. I know these testimonies. I know these people doing this to me do this. That's why they don't like to be seen anymore, because they think that the aggression I might get from seeing them for being part of a program that does this to children and try to make me believe that they are some kind of like protecting and paying, like they're making me pay for what I did as a child, and having to exaggerate. While this trash are in a program that do horrible things, suffocations, torture, sexual torture toward children, blinding them, doing all these horrible things that you hear me experience. Apply that to children. But they want to live a fantasy that I'm not allowing them to. And they try to use different tonality, right? They use the tone of voice to make it sound like that voice. Then just because you sound like that in your hidden area, I'm going to subscribe to it. Then you see them in life, in real person. You see how fraudulent and falsified and fake they are. And you're like, you just trash. You just enjoy feeling empowered. It gives you a sense of power. I understand. Look at you. You think I'm going to look at this kid and naturally experience anything? No. Your job is to make me experience this and make me accept this thing as if it's me. And then try to have this logic of like, no, we matched it to you as a child. And try to counter and bring up other manipulation you made me experience. That is what they do. They work for pedophiles. There is a problem with pedophilia in these agencies that have empowered these low lives. That's reality. A reality they want to escape. They are in a program that is that torture children, suffocating them, torturing them sexually, giving them some disease and conditions due to the radiations. And they want me to let them live in their fantasy. This trash will try to talk to me about me as a kid, who then is in a program that does these things to kids, and have to exaggerate me as a child. And do you think I'm going to let you be your little fantasy creation that you create? When I'm listening to the testimonies of what you guys do to children. When I was on TI Day 2020 and I said that this has impacted men, women, and children all around the world, it meant that I know that they torture children and women all around the world. This low life trash. and having to try to come up with a fantasy. I was put in this program because my employer put me in this program. This employer put me in this program based on my race. Yes, race was a reason. It was a factor. And your trash us want me to let you think that I'm going to let you escape in this fantasy where I don't know that you torture children and women. I don't know that you do the pedophilia type of torture. And I think that you're here avenging for the stupid thing I did to myself as a kid. And you having to exaggerate that. And then now when I experience these disgusting pedophilia things, which this technology is known to force people to experience, I'm going to be, I'm going to forget that I'm going to be like, no, this is me. You matched it to me as a child. This low life, and try to use this different tonality, thinking that the way you sound is gonna make me forget that you do the pedophilia type of torture, thinking that the way you sound is gonna make me forget that you torture children, thinking the way these people sound is gonna make me forget that there's so much pedophiles in these agencies that contract this low life, thinking the way they sound is gonna make me forget that they torture women or children. They are delusional. But like like I said, they're gonna get theirs. But I'm not saying anything magical. The bottom feeders like that do what they do and dedicate their life in this cowardness and low lifeness and bottom feedersness. It's just a matter of time. It's gonna come one way or another. And like I said, it won't take much. It will not take much. They don't need to have torturers and back and forth because that it would for them 2 seconds they will just jump over this patio. It will take 2 seconds, but the empowerment of these pedophiles they've provided makes them think they can come up with their fantasy. They try to call it being a war. You'll never be a war. It's obvious that you can deal with war. Then they try to say, "Oh, we are for our kids." No, you're renowned to torture toddlers, babies, and all kind of babies, all kind of kids. Oh, our teenager. Matter of fact, you are renowned to be using children in this way. Teenagers are used to be forced to be seen in these ways. They condition people to look at kids in all these different pedophile ways. A woman literally say, at night they make me have these dreams where they try to program me and condition me to start looking at kids, teenagers especially, in this fashion. There's nothing I can do to let them. There's nothing I can let. There's nothing. There's nothing they can do to make me subscribe to their fantasy. Now my brain is for them. You can see how hard it is for me to speak. You see, it's not easy for me to speak. That's because of what's happening to my brain. But while I'm speaking, the way I'm gonna use my last words is this: making sure that everything needs to be said is said. And as much as they try to find ways to make me validate, make me subscribe to this bull BS, I will not subscribe to this. They're desperate to try to find ways to make me subscribe to this. So to all my target individuals, stay strong. Because things like this, to me, if I see a child, a toddler, little boy, little girl, especially little girls, it's going to be even worse. They're going to give me the extreme stimulations and try to make me subscribe. Like, now we match it to you as a kid. Remember, that's how you see a kid when you were a kid. Oh, by the way, then they try to exaggerate what I did as a kid. Try to make somehow what they do to me today something I should be subscribing to. These people who not only do this horrible pedophilia type of torture, but that is the horrible torture of children, and try to make you feel now you pay for what you did as a kid. These people in the program that is out here blinding people, including kids. To all my target individuals, stay strong and know that justice will be done.